Oh, don't eat it. That's kind of yeah. And this is this is part 3 of the trip I'm working on for the course project. Okay, this is more of my studio. It's the Min's spinning. It's a table. That's a table for some paper towels. Another table full of cut paper stuff. Works of Thomas Jefferson. This is the main wall, and there's not a whole lot more to it. Just a rack of paints and brushes. A shelf full of old junk. It's not junk, it's my old work. Anyway. The question was what problems we had, because it was really hard for me to figure out to get the background color. I just couldn't decide on it, so I just sat and stared at it for the longest time. I think I wanted something that was kind of in between, and I do think I found the tone that I wanted. This has been the hardest piece. I don't know where it's going in terms of the palette. I'm trying to keep it cool, but it feels like it wants to move beyond that, so I'm just thinking that through. I should break through that sort of restriction I imposed on myself, or if I should, or if I should press on. You're so silly. You're so silly. You want to say? So a couple quick things, just about my process. So if I don't stretch my own canvas, which I probably like 50-50s. I do it a lot. Sometimes I don't. And it's more, for me, it's a budgetary thing, because whatever I paint on, I prime myself. So even if it's a store-bought canvas, I'm going to prime it, sand it probably 4 or 5 times. So each of these canvases has probably, I would say, 5 layers of primer, sanded, and then a fresh layer. And I'll do that on the front and maybe just 1 layer on the back, just for consistency's sake. And I like stretching my own canvases fine. I just don't really, like, there's some things I just don't care. Just like if I find a good deal on canvas, I'm gonna make it my own anyway. So that's how I work with that stuff. And I'll start with a ground color, and most of the decisions that I'll make for the rest of whatever piece I'm making are coming from that first decision. And I like painting that way. I think that each step that I take, in a lifelike kind of way, it dictates what I'm going to do next. And some changes are subtle, and some changes are big because of that. And I just feel like that's a lot like life. Yeah. Whatever we choose to do in a given day, it alters the course of that day, to greater or lesser degrees. And painting for me has been so much like that, and I enjoy that part of it. That's one of my favorite parts of it. I've been working with water-based paints, house paint mainly, and a mixture of acrylic. I like the house paint because it's kind of unstable, meaning it drips easily. It doesn't sit in one place, and I sort of like that. It ends up creating texture. I like it for those reasons. I also just like the dynamic of having to respond to something that my paint did, because these are very controlled paintings. I'm doing essentially hard edge painting here. I'm not using any straight edges or anything like that, but so having an aspect of it just be this unpredictable thing is enjoyable for me, and I think it gives a quality to the work that that it would otherwise maybe be lacking. It would feel a little bit too much like geometric abstraction. I just feel like that's a lot like life. Yeah, and I just feel like that's a lot like life. Yeah, and I just feel like that's a lot like life. And I just feel like that's a lot like life. And I just feel like that's a lot like life. Yeah.